well, they sell everything in the neighborhood. You say, I brought the facts for the last 5 years. Last year there was 9 homes, the year before there was 13, only 2 of them sold. You know, you go through all the tough times too. And you say, what's interesting, out of all the homes that were up for sale, no agent in here personally sold more than 2 homes. So that agent may put a lot of homes up for sale, but they're hoping someone else brings the buyer.
That's brilliant.
How much attention it will get to.
That's good,
Okay?
yeah.
And that's how you do it. Okay? Now you also say to them, my office is, do you still have your office in Brighton too? Okay, we have 2 offices that are centrally located. We've got the one in Livonia, we've got the one in Brighton. Do you know how many people in Brighton drive down 696 to go to work? And you're right here in Northville, you're in Farmington, you're in Novi, you're here. Okay? Do you also know how many people in Livonia want to move up to our neighborhood, to this area? So when you go with our company, you have the best of both worlds. We got them driving through, we got them moving up, and I know where they're at. Besides, when you put your home up with me, I could walk over here, I just live 2 blocks away. Okay, so that's what you do. Okay, you rock. All right, back here.
Okay, buyer scenario.
Buyer scenario.
Talking about if we see a house, they like it, want to make an offer, they say, well, what's the percentage of offers that you've made that have been accepted in the last year?
100%.
So what I hear you saying is, you want to know, am I going to
Once
fight
you
hard
close,
for
you're
you?
closed.
Absolutely. You see, you and I are going to date. Okay, we're going to go out and look at a couple of homes. It's going to be an adventure. I'm going to show you what's available. We're going to find out what you like and don't like. And at the end of that time frame, you'll have a sense for how I work. If you like the way I work, then I'm just going to request that you give me your loyalty. I'm going to give you a commitment. So I only work with a select number of buyers at any given time because I want to make sure they're well taken care of and I want to fight hard for them. Somebody who's working with a whole bunch of people, you just become inventory. You just become another number. I don't do that. It's not the way I design my business. So I'm just curious. If I found you the perfect home in the next 30 days, what would you do?
Buy it.
We're going to enjoy working together. What would you say are the 2 or 3 most important things you want to make sure I find in that home for you? Who's your agent, everybody? How fast? You got it? Nothing but a couple of questions. All over.
And is it okay if I write this down?
What does that mean?
No, I think you taught me back in Flying Tigers.
Oh yeah, would you mind if I take some notes, because it's important you can write this down? Absolutely, right on, okay? Has anyone ever shared with you as a buyer the different levels of service that are available today? No, but you know what people say? Well, state law says I have to go over buyer agency. I don't want to do that. Okay. Well, we're going to have to do it sometime, probably before we write the offer. No, if you don't want me, I don't want you. You got that? So, I'm going to give you some buyer techniques. Are you ready? Okay, this John Tenza guy, he kind of keeps it simple. Here it is. Stove, counter, freezer. I'm analyzing buyers. Are they in the freezer? Are they on the counter? Or are they hot and ready to cook? When Jan said, what would you do in the next 30 days if I found the perfect home, I'd buy it, was she on the stove, the counter, or the freezer?
Stove.
Stove. Jan gets to work with me. She says, oh, well, we're not getting married until September and I don't want to live in sin. Where's she at now?
Freezer.
Freezer. She does not get in my car. What was that?
Hell.
Okay. All right. So I got to find out. Now watch this. You got to get this as a sanity question. If I found the perfect home for you in the next 30 days, what would you do? If they don't say buy it, why do you want to work with them? If they're not going to buy the perfect home, what are you doing putting them in your car? Okay? You know how gas kind of plays around and gets, like 2 weeks ago, it was $4 again? What's up with that? Thank goodness it's down now to like $3.70 or something like that. All right, but I don't care how you cut it, $3.70 is still a lot of money. All right, so if someone wants to drive around and look at homes, and they're not on the stove, I'm going to say to them, you know, gas is almost $4 a gallon. If you're not sure if you want to buy it, we're going to take your car. If you want to buy the home, you can come in my car. Waste your gas, not mine. All right, don't say that one. That was just a funny because it's getting late, all right? But do you get the concept that I'm telling you? Don't be so fast to put stupid people in your car. all right? Now, who is the stupid people? Someone who wants to try and waste my time. That's stupid, okay? That's worse than somebody sitting at home watching TV. Because when I go home and I watch TV, I at least get to pick the show I'm gonna enjoy. I don't have to put up with somebody's aggravation. All right?
Truth.
All right, so I want you to get this. Here's another success rule of John Tenza. Ready? Am I dressed? Okay? This is my rule. If I'm dressed, somebody has to pay.
That'd be me tonight, by the way.
If I'm dressed, somebody has to pay. Because otherwise I'm gonna stay home and get some hugs. All right? I'm gonna do something fun. So if I'm dressed, somebody has to pay. Now, don't walk up to them and say, if I'm dressed, someone has to pay. But that's like a little mantra for yourself. I'm dressed for success. I'm in action. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm up to bat. Okay? I'm gonna find somebody that wants to say yes to some success. I don't care if I knock on your door and you say no. I don't care. Just soon you say no to me in 5 seconds. I don't want to spend 20 minutes with you and then find out that you got a real estate license. Okay, I want to do this thing fast. And then I move on. Okay, I'm not attached to any outcome. Let me give you another success clue. This one, you want to work with your company owners here and ramp up your skills. Okay? When you get a little more skill, I call it the thrill of high skill, you're not attached to the outcome. You show up and you do the best you can, and you're qualifying people to see if they're serious and they're motivated, they're inspired on some level to make a buying decision or to sell at a competitive price. And if they say, well, we don't have to sell our home, it's like, I don't have to list it either. You get what I'm saying? So don't work with people that are gonna cause you ulcers, unless they're gonna pay you. Now, if they're gonna pay you, you put up with the aggravation. Because you're building your business. And then when you become more successful, and someone calls you up, or they aggravate you, you know what you do? You delegate them to somebody else. And that's when you get your referral fee. So I'm not working with this person, I give them to somebody else. You become very good converting internet leads, converting floor calls, converting sign calls, converting opportunities. You do open houses virtually every Sunday. And when people come through, they don't all qualify to work with you. Someone says, I don't want to get married until September. You say, wonderful, and you give them to somebody here that's got patience. And they'll take good care of them. And then September, guess what they're going to do? They're going to find them a home. And you're going to get a referral check, and you talk to them for 5 minutes, and you made $200 in a referral check. That's not bad for 5 minutes. You get what I'm saying, everybody? So you become so good, and when someone calls you and it's a wrong number, you still say, what do you think about, you're about thinking about buying or selling? I can help. Okay? People call me all the time, is this a school system? No, it's not, but I'll tell you what, I can help you buy a home. Interest rates are low right now, it is the best time. I don't know if, check this out, how do you qualify people? How do you talk to them? Do you prospect at all?
Mhm.
Did you say the bad word here? Do they know what that is?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Prospecting, did you teach them the bad word?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't like prospecting. You never did it, how would you know? I don't like it. Well, you know why you don't like prospecting? Because when you were little, and you popped out, and there were big people around that loved you. They wanted to keep you around. So they told you things like this: don't talk to strangers. And you were like, okay, I won't talk to strangers. And now here you are, a big person in real estate. And you got that 8-track tape running in your head. Don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers. Hey, you wanna do some prospecting? Don't talk to strangers. I don't think I wanna do that. Why don't you wanna do that? I don't know. Well, what if you called 20 people and one of them said, come out and list my home, we were just talking about it over dinner. I can't believe you called. All right? I'm going on a listing appointment Saturday. For 2 years, I've been working the state. I was a real estate expert on a radio show, and this guy called in. He had some questions. His wife had just passed. He had a 4-bedroom home. He was in his 80s. He had all kinds of clutter, and he wanted to know how he would stage his home and what he would do. Being very respectful.